The Florida Panthers, well, they've won 3 in a row, and they're looking to ride that momentum into tonight's matchup against a big-time juggernaut, and looking at Bennett, Verhaeghe, and Marchand to step up big like they did last night against Nathan MacKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche. Big matchup, guys, and it's got some big-time implications if they can win this game, being only 3 points out of the wild card as it sits today. Guys, we're going to be talking about last night's game, who's been stepping up big recently, who needs to do a little bit more, and what are we going to look at in tonight's matchup against the juggernaut Colorado Avalanche, who really are just putting points up left and right, no matter how they can get it. I mean, tons of wins, only 2 losses, 7 overtime losses on the season. It's going to be a hell of a test for this team. Guys, thank you for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. There have been some surprising updates from the Florida Panthers with some big-time implications for this road trip, as well as possibly the rest of December. We're going to talk about that. Again, hype up this video, subscribe, help me get to 4,000 views. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, this is the place you can find news, injury updates, pre-post game analysis, anything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Well, let's jump right into this, guys. Last night, Anton Lundell scored very late, and the Panthers are the only team to score multiple late winners this season. Lundell puts in the back of the net, 3rd consecutive win for the Cats. They're moving up in the rankings, thank goodness, and they're riding this wave of momentum right now, and let's hope they can keep doing it tonight. Big test, like I said. Colorado is not to be taken lightly at all. I'm a little worried because they have just been rolling. We'll see how it goes. Nathan MacKinnon is just a freak this year. We'll get into his numbers in a moment. But that Verhaeghe, Bennett, Marchand line was something special last night. Am I going to say, man, this is going to turn the season around? They've had some big wins. They've had some big losses this season. I've already said that. And Lundell stepping up big at the waning moments of the game helped us win in regulation. They really needed this to start off this big-time road trip. Man, is it going to be a test tonight. So let's look at the numbers right now from the stats last night. Obviously, our penalty kill was great, holding the Utah Mammoth to 0 of 3 on the power play. And even for the face-off win percentages, I'm going to show you one guy who really stepped up in the circle, and Anton Lundell had that big face-off win towards the end of the game that helped put the Cats back up top and eventually was the game winner. We outshot the Mammoth, not by much, but overall, if you look at the numbers here, everything was pretty even. Am I going to say the Cats are now going to start turning their whole season around? Not necessarily, but let's see how those top 2 lines can play. Luostarinen, Lundell, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Marchand. I think that meshing, that chemistry is going to be there. I think they're going to be psyched about playing tonight. Yeah, I know, second game in a back-to-back. It's going to be a tough test for them. They're going to be tired a little bit, beat up, of course, but let's see. I have faith in this team. They have beaten some big-time teams so far this season, so I could say anything is possible for them, and I've already said this. They've also lost to the bottom feeders at times, but I do like the way they're playing. But that 4th line is a little bit of something we should be worrying about, because I think that's where our biggest struggle is. 4th line. Bob was great. He had some huge saves, and we'll get into that in just a second. I'm going to show you some of the highlights right now, and man, you're going to like this because I obviously saved the best for last. So let's get into this right now. Here we start. Bob coming up big right off the bat. Couple of saves there. I want to talk about this breakaway goal. So what happened in this play to start was Gunther was behind the play. He fell down, came back, kind of waited in that neutral area of the ice, and lo and behold, found him wide open, and this was the outcome. Man, it didn't look good, but our passing was great. Our setup was great. Positioning was fantastic. I mean, look at this beautiful pass to Verhaeghe for the goal. He has been on fire, guys, in the last 10 games. 7 goals, 8 assists, plus 6 in those 10 games. He has been great. Again, great looks here. What a shot by Bennett. He's been great in the last 5, 3 goals, 5 assists, plus 2 in his last 5. In his last 11, 15 points, 6 goals, and 9 assists. We hope he could keep playing really high level right now, as is Verhaeghe, and we hope Marchand can get back on the board. He's been a little quiet, except for 1 game in this last 5. So, big time things happening for the Cats, starting to find their way. And here we go, another great pass. And here was another out of position piece, and Gunther slid it just got it by Bobrovsky, but you could see at the top of the screen, right at the blue line, we were caught kind of gazing at the puck, seeing what happens, and Gunther eventually got away with this, put it between Bobrovsky's legs, and that seems to be the go-to place for a lot of guys, is finding that 5-hole between his legs has been kind of the killer for Bobrovsky, and I think he knows it too. Now watch this. Look at the positioning of the defenders. You have 4 guys. You can kind of see the stick right there coming into play. You got 5 guys motioning towards where the puck is. Now watch Lundell sneak over and find room to get to this far side post at the bottom right of the screen. Great move here. Gets into a great position. Puts it into the back of the net. And this, the best for last, probably one of the best saves we're going to see all season. Just unbelievable stop by Bobrovsky. That, if he didn't make that stop, this game probably went the way of the Utah Mammoth. Maybe we went to overtime, but man, was he just unbelievable in last night's game. Brought his numbers up a little bit. So far in his last 5, Bob is 2-2-1. He has a 3.49 goals against average, 863 save percentage. Remember, against Philadelphia, not the greatest game, a 778 save percentage. He stopped 14 of 18 shots. He also had that game where he let in a bunch of goals. I think it was against against the Predators. So that has hurt him. But we cannot blame Bobrovsky. Again, I'm going to have a goaltender who has a lot of experience playing at the professional level, ECHL, IHL, all these different things. He's also a grade 4 USA hockey coach. So he has a lot of experience professionally goaltending. He'll give you his insight into what goaltending is really all about and what happens to a goaltender and their performance when you have a ton of injuries and personnel changes on these lines. So these are all the stats from last night. Sam Bennett with the big game, 2 goals and an assist. Carter Verhaeghe's rolling, a goal and an assist. But look at Mackie Samoskevich trying to make something happen with his 6 shots, as was Eetu Luostarinen, 5 shots as well. Brad Marchand had some beautiful moves, as did Samoskevich, kind of dancing around all over the place with the puck, really showing their ability to maintain possession, try to find an opening, and just make something happen for this team. Fantastic. The big thing here, though, is look at Evan Rodriguez on the right side at the bottom. He won 7 faceoffs, only lost 3. They were big-time face-off wins. Same thing with Anton Lundell. He had some big wins in the face-off circle, as did Sam Bennett. So I'm thinking the Cats are going to keep riding this momentum. I don't look for them to run away with it by any means, but they're going to be competitive. But we need to be aware of Nathan MacKinnon, which we're going to get into in just a moment. This is the defense. Great job. We obviously know Balinskis was very physical, and Bennett picked up his physicality as well. He had a big hit. He had a couple of other ones where he was looking like he wanted to go for a big hit, but he's getting more physical. I think he's going back to his style of play. I think his teammates had told him, hey man, we need the Sam Bennett that we saw at the end of the season last year, because that physical player who's going to go out there and throw down with the best, lay down the body, aggressive on the forecheck, be in front of the net, try to do what you can to make a play. And man, he was feeling it last night. And you can see the shots by Gustav Forsling, who was calling for the puck several times. Fastest shot so far on the team this year, I think, was 100.3 miles an hour. So I think they should give him the puck a little bit more, give him a chance to shoot it, hope for a rebound. And that's some of the smart play from last night. Take the shot if you have a guy if you're on one circle, take the shot if you have another player on the other side of the ice near the other circle. Hope for the rebound to come off the pad. Maybe it goes right to your player and you got a shot at an open net, or at least a decent rebound opportunity. And there you go. Bobrovsky's numbers at the bottom there. 5 power play saves, really holding down the fort. Great job by the team last night. So as for tonight's matchup, the Avalanche in their last 5 are 3-2, as we are 3-2. As you can see there, they had a shootout loss against the Nashville Predators. So I don't really feel that bad about our overtime loss to the Nashville Predators. Well, there you go. It was the Columbus Blue Jackets, I misspoke, that Bobrovsky just got pounded. I think it was Bobrovsky who played that game. If I'm misspeaking, I do apologize. It might have been Tarasov in net for that game. I think it was. But the Cats have been rolling. The Avalanche are coming off a loss to a bad team. I'm not saying that, hey, we're going to win this one because they just lost to the Predators, but let's cross our fingers that maybe they're in a little bit of a slump right now. And I'm not going to even say they're slump at all or going through slumps throughout the season because, man, they've just been rolling the whole season. They are looking like they're just going to run away this season. And I mean, right now they're on track to possibly break the Boston Bruins record for most points in a season. But we have to see. A lot of hockey left to play. I'm not going to start thinking that far ahead. Here's the matchup tonight. Like I said, Nathan MacKinnon, 24 goals, 27 assists, 51 points on the season. Just unbelievable. But look at that. 140 shots already this season. And one thing I want to tell you guys is our defensemen have been playing a little bit better. Hiccups here and there, yes. But Jones has been good on the offensive front, 2 goals and an assist, +4 in his last 5. Mikkola has been +4 in his last 5. They're going to have to be physical tonight if they're going to want to have any chance of trying to win this game. They need to get into the head of Nathan MacKinnon and company because they are rolling. As far as the team stats head-to-head, right now, the main stats, goals for, goals against, obviously the Avalanche are better. I mean, they're scoring at such a ridiculous pace right now. They have 118 goals on the season, 205 assists, 1,028 shots so far through 30 games. I mean, they're rolling. We commit a lot more penalties than they do, so we got to look out for that, but we have a better power play. Our penalty kill is not as good as theirs, but I'm going to say this. I have faith in our penalty kill. They looked more cohesive last night. I think our top 2 lines looked really energized. I think they're ready for this road trip, and they know they need to come away with at least 2 wins, hoping for 3, which I think can happen. If tonight is a loss, you can definitely win the next 2, especially against Tampa Bay on the back end of this road trip. They need that win big time. So anyways, goaltending comparison, well, the Avalanche have the upper hand everywhere, up and down there. I mean, just look at that. Look at those numbers for that team. Unbelievable. Wedgwood and Blackwood have been phenomenal this year. I'm not sure who is going to be starting tonight. The lines and starting goaltenders have not been released yet, so you guys can look out for that. But I would probably assume it would be Wedgwood. They've had a little bit of time off. I would see he was going to start. Maybe Bobrovsky's in net. We'll see. You guys could check it out on X on the Panthers account or Jameson Olive's account. He'll probably have the updates for the lines there. So Nathan MacKinnon, I was like, I'm going to go through and show you guys who we have to look out for on the ice, and the Panthers really have to have eyes in the back of their head. In this game, I'm going to tell you this. Everybody on their team is dangerous. MacKinnon, Nakis, Makar, Lankinen, Nelson, Olofsson, Burns. I mean, every single one of these players is dangerous. Those top 3 guys there all have 20 plus assists on the season. That's what makes them dangerous. They're so good at passing. They're so good at movement around the puck and finding space, finding the open shooting lanes, and getting the defense out of position. So our toughest task tonight is having to rely on smart defensive play. We've got to make sure guys like Samoskevich and that 4th line, Gregor, Cunnin, and Studnicka, we got to make sure those guys, especially when their 4th line is against our 4th line, theirs is a lot better than ours. Those guys have to hold the fort down and make sure that they're not going to score. The way we match up physically with them, I think could be something that will be at our advantage, but they're going to have to be very physical. They're going to have to out-hit them. They're definitely have to scrap after the whistle. And we haven't seen a lot of that from this Panthers team right now because it is a different team. All those guys, Tkachuk, everybody who was injured, I'm not going to say all the names because everyone knows who they are. They need to be more scrappy out there. They really have to get into the heads of all the players on the Avalanche to throw them off their game. So let's keep going, guys. A little bit more to go. A little bit more to go here. We're going to go into some of what Paul Maurice had to say about Bennett and a couple of other things right now. So here we are. We are going to be talking about actually what Anton Lundell had to say. It's Paul Maurice on Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett is as good a player as there is in the league right now. And I have to agree, absolutely. Last 11 games, 15 points, 6 goals, 9 assists. He's starting to look better on the ice, more comfortable with his role on the line that he is playing on, and it's clicking. I know Lustrain and Lundell and Marchand played last year and they were so great, but right now, don't fix what isn't broken. What worked last night should work tonight. From what I was researching, the lines should not change. So keep it where it is, see how it goes, adjust on the fly if need be. And here's Anton Lundell. It's always important to start the road trip well. We have a long road trip, so get the good vibes and 2 points for us. So am I nervous about tonight? Absolutely. I don't know any other Panthers fan who probably wouldn't be a little bit about biting their nails, kind of getting little sweaty palms about it, because you're just like, the Avalanche are such a formidable team no matter who they play this season. Great teams, bad teams. I just showed you they just lost to the Predators in overtime, so it's like it could go either way tonight. Can we ride this momentum into the game tonight, win 4 in a row? The lines keep rolling. Can Bennett be aggressive? And same thing with Verhaeghe. Will they keep going? Will Marchand step up? I think he's going to be big because he's been looking for a goal. I mean, he's been so close. Off the post last night, I thought that was going in. That was going to seal the deal, but didn't happen. Rhino's going to have to step up. That Lundell-Lustranen line, they need to find a little bit better chemistry. They had some really good moments last night, but I think it could be better. And that third line, I think that's going to be the biggest key piece. That third line. We've got to see those guys come out and be aggressive as well, but they can't be caught on their heels and let a turnover happen or have a giveaway, in their offensive zone or even in the neutral ice, because that is where this team can be so dangerous, especially those odd man rushes or even those breakaways. And Bob's got to look out for that 5-hole, man, because that has just been the dagger in his side so far. Is a lot of the things we've been seeing are those 5-hole shots on him. But I think a lot of things are looking good for tonight. I'm energized. I'm stoked. Yeah, it's a late game at 9:30, but man, it is going to be a great one to watch. Let's hope the Cats stick with it, keep doing what they're doing, ride this momentum wave into tonight, and have 4 games in a row that they have won, putting 8 points on the board, 9 points in their last 5 games. Move up, be 1 point, hopefully, out of the wild card, but there's a lot of games tonight, so there might be a little bit of movement up. We might just kind of stay neutral even if we win the game. We'll see. But again, this is going to hopefully be where we're going to be at for the rest of December until Matthew Tkachuk comes back. I think they're going to try to keep these lines, again, have the chemistry happen for this team, and let's see how it goes. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. Comment, like, share, keep your eyes out. I'm going to be my next video telling you the dates, maybe the one after that, about when I'm going to be having my guests on there, having crossover episodes, doing live episodes where I can take your questions, read your comments, things like that. And then I will be doing a live reaction to a game, obviously not one that's going to be on the West Coast, starting at 9:30. I'll probably be doing a home game that starts at 7. And I will be at the arena next week on the 19th for that Hurricanes game. It's going to be a great one. I can't wait. So anyways, guys, thank you so much again. I appreciate all of your support. And go Cats.